Are you?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Wow. Well, he's better. Energizer Duracell, whatever the one. I just put question. Yeah. Oh. Here, flat. Yeah, I was trying to do it. Leaves, you gotta.
Last time,
Oh.
not you. But
Yes, you. Yeah. Me too,
you know,
everybody knew I kind of.
it's. One minute.
So. Ready? You ready? Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Waipahū Neighborhood Board. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Welcome again. This is our first meeting of our new cycle. So we're glad that you were able to spend your Thursday evening with us. Let me go over the rules of speaking. Anyone wishing to speak is asked to raise their hand, and when recognized by the chair, to address your comments to the chair. Speakers are encouraged to keep their comments under 3 minutes, and those giving reports are urged to keep their reports under 3 minutes as well. Please silence all electronic devices at this time. As customary for our Waipahū Neighborhood Board, we'd like to introduce our board members. I would like to start on my right. Go ahead, board member.
Aloha, my name is Dominic Bonifacio, first-time board member here, and at large.
Hi, good evening. Kevin Wilson, at large.
Hi, Rachel Cristobal. My first time being a board member, and I'm also working at NCO. Thank you.
Good evening, Maureen Andrade at large.
Richard Oshiro at large.
Aloha and good evening, Nathan Chang.
Aloha and good evening, Dayton Chang.
Good evening again. My name is Daryl Macha.
Good evening. My name is Maurice Morita.
Good evening. My name is Angel Nael.
Good evening to all. I'm Nainoa Molitor, first-time board member.
Good evening, John Pagan.
Aloha, everyone. Danny DeGracia, at large.
Thank you, board members, and welcome to our newly elected board members. How about we give them a round of applause for serving our community? All right, next item on our agenda is the election of officers to serve from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Do I have any nominations for chair? Board member Richard?
Nominate Daryl Macha, as chair.
It's been moved and seconded. I do accept the nomination. Any discussion? Anyone else wanting to be chair? Tell us about that. Okay, well, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, board members, for your vote of confidence. Thank you. Next, officer, do I have a nomination for vice chair? Board member Richard?
Chang, vice chair.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded for Chetan Chang. Vice Chair, do you accept? Any more nominations for Vice Chair? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Vice Chair. Next, officer is for secretary position. Go ahead, board member.
I nominate Richard Oshiro for secretary.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Richard Oshiro, do you serve or do you accept the nomination for secretary? Does any other nominations for secretary? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Congratulations, Secretary Richard Oshiro. And finally, the officer position for treasurer. Richard, go ahead.
Nominate Nathan Chang, treasurer.
It's been moved. It's been moved and second. Treasurer nomination for Nathan Chang. Do you accept? Thank you. Any further nominations for treasurer? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, board, for the election of officers, again, to serve from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Thank you. Moving right along to our first responder reports, we have the Honolulu Fire Department. Please approach the podium. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Joe Toro from the Waikele Fire Station. So we have some stats from June of this year. If you have any questions, you can email hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. So our incidents for June, we had 2 structure fires, 6 brush fires, 10 nuisance fires, 1 cooking fire, and 5 activated alarms with no fire. For other non-fire emergencies, we had 226 medical emergencies, 1 motor vehicle versus pedestrian. We had 7 motor vehicle crashes, 0 mountain rescues, and 2 hazardous materials incidents. So our fire safety tip for July is wildfire awareness, prevention, and preparation. So wildfires significantly threaten Hawaii's landscapes, wildlife, and communities with dry conditions and daily activities increasing the risk. It's crucial to take proactive steps to prevent and mitigate wildland fires. So 1, we have lighten the load, reduce the risk of ignition by maintaining your yard and cleaning your gutters to remove fuels. We have clear, cool, and contain. Clear vegetation 10 feet around campfires and barbecues. Keep a shovel and water nearby and ensure fires are completely extinguished before leaving. Watch the spark. Ensure machinery, tools, and recreational vehicles with operating spark arresters are maintained regularly. And for more information on these, you can visit Honolulu Fire Department at fire.honolulu.gov. Our Department of Emergency Management, honolulu.gov/DEM, and the Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization, hwmo.org/lookout. Any questions?
Thank you, Captain. Board members, do you have any questions or comments for Honolulu Fire Department? Any concerns? Hearing none. Thank you for your report, sir. We have the Honolulu Police Department.
Good evening. My name is Lieutenant Keone Hong, and I'm working out at a Pearl City Police Station. When we're going over the stats for the month of June compared to May, motor vehicle thefts, there were 15 compared to 8, burglaries 6 compared to 5, thefts 31 compared to 36, UMVs or car break-ins, there were 7 in June compared to 5 in May. Total calls for service in this area for June was 2,184 compared to the previous month of 2,330. The safety tip of the month is be prepared for natural disasters such as hurricanes and tsunamis. Familiarize yourself with emergency procedures and evacuation routes. One resource is if you Google Hawaii Emergency Management Agency, they have prep tips like having an emergency go bag and what supplies are needed in it, as well as evacuation routes, especially if you're in a tsunami inundation zone. One thing I wanted to share is in collaboration with the Department of Law Enforcement, there is going to be a fireworks buyback program this Saturday, July 26th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Aloha Stadium. They're buying back illegal fireworks, $1 per pound of fireworks, or if there's aerial fireworks, it's $5 per pound. Some items that are not accepted are fireworks that you could purchase with permits or over the at the normal retail outlets. If there are any questions, there's a flyer in the back that I left, or you can call 808-837-8470.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Do I have any questions or concerns for Honolulu Police Department? Go ahead, board member. Rachel.
I'm actually presenting behalf of a resident as a 2-question part, and then I'll provide the paragraph for the details. Is it illegal? Oh no, is it legal for Gerber Collision on Leokani Street to place traffic cones on public street parking every morning to reserve spaces exclusively for their business? And then if it is illegal, can HPD patrol the area in the early morning to see if someone places the cones? This occurs daily between 6 to 7 a.m. in a mixed-use area with staff removing the cones as they arrive to park in the reserved spots, making the area appear normal by 7:30 a.m. Corporate complaints temporarily stopped the practice for only 1 to 2 days. When citizens move the cones, employees retaliate by parking extremely close to the person's vehicle, preventing them from leaving until the business feels they paid for their actions. This appears to be unauthorized control of public property that restricts lawful public use of city streets and can be witnessed by police patrol between 6 to 7 a.m. Thank you.
Yes, that is correct. You're not supposed to be saving spots on the public roadway. However, I missed the exact street.
Oh, so this is for Leokani Street, but I can give you this afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll let the patrol units know to check the area, take enforcement action as necessary, but also let the constituent know to, if they do have problems with the business or whatnot because of, like you said, retaliation in the past, immediately call 911, explain the situation, and officers will also respond.
Thank you. Go ahead, board member Andrade.
Similar. What is the law regarding people parking right at the corners in a community? Let's say dead end,
Thank
cul-de-sacs.
you.
And we've been actually letting people know that it is against the law. Isn't it 5 feet from each corner or is it 4 feet from each corner?
So the 4 feet is the driveways, but usually if it's like a corner, you
No,
cannot
this
park
is not
along.
driveways. This is the street.
Yeah, I'm just letting
This
you
is
know,
the corner,
the 4
yeah.
feet is the driveways.
4 feet.
But if you're going for the end of the corner, you
Mhm.
cannot park along the corner, and depends if there's a stop sign or whatnot. Usually it's 20 or 30 feet. Yeah, I would have to
Okay.
look up the exact, so it's a lot
We
further.
are having problems
Mhm.
in Village Park, and I actually had an officer come to my house. And we've actually talked to the neighbors who continuously do it,
Mhm.
letting them know that it is illegal. Well, my granddaughter was going to work on Kaaka Street and got T-boned really bad. Kaaka and Kaaka Place. And they still do it. So when the officer came, because we were having a hard time explaining to the homeowner that was having a party, they actually told me to shut up.
Mhm.
And so when I called the officer, I also asked Prior Vision, who is our security, to go and take a picture of the license plate and everything. When the officer came, he said to me that initially he said it was the discretion of the officer. But I said, so if I go to the neighborhood board and I announce this, that you said this,
Mhm.
because I want to know what the real law is. I don't want to be stating something that isn't right.
Yeah.
So I am right, but the footage is wrong, right?
Yeah. So I told you before, and I know you're very proactive, but call 911. Try not to approach neighbors and scold
Well,
them.
we
You know, I don't
discussed
want
it
them,
with them.
I don't want a confrontation. I
Yeah, no,
remember.
we actually, my husband and I were talking to them,
Okay.
you know. but
I'm just giving you advice on the side.
Yeah.
However, if you do see parking complaints or there is discretion, that is true, you know, because we can ask the person to move the car.
And I asked
We
him to
don't
do
have to
that.
cite.
I
Yeah,
did
we
ask
don't
the
have to
officer
cite,
to
but
do
I'm just saying, it is true that officers do have discretion on whether or not to cite a vehicle that's in violation of parking. Yeah. So if it's an ongoing problem, however, call, meet with the officers, point out the vehicles, let them know maybe what house it's from. If you're not satisfied with the officer's response, like I said in the past, call for a supervisor, a sergeant or a lieutenant like myself. We'll come down and reassess the situation and see if more enforcement or corrective action needs to take place. But please don't try to talk to the neighbors on your own. I just wouldn't want confrontation between you and the neighbors.
Well, we were actually really nice because they were having a party and all I
Yeah.
asked them was, hey,
I know.
initially,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Parties though come with alcohol. People might not be in the right state of mind, although you are. I'm just saying we saw it hundreds of times that nice neighbors talk to other neighbors. They may be the best neighbors normally, but when parties and alcohol, things change. So call the police. Yeah.
Okay, what about cones for
Mhm.
saving this city street?
Yeah, like I addressed that. That's not legal to do. Technically, we could get them for like criminal littering or something like that. You know, you cannot just leave things in the roadway. So I'll tell the officers to make checks in that area, but also have the person call if, you know, it continues. I know, I can see how maybe we do enforcement for a few days, but there's thousands of other things we gotta do
Oh,
too.
yeah, no, I
So
know.
just gotta remind us and then we can check the area and hopefully, you know, how people, they change for a little while, then they go back and just remind us too, then we can go back and address it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? Go ahead, board member on to my left.
Okay, the old Don Quixote building, do you have any officers around that area patrolling it, if possible?
Is there private security? Is that, what do you mean by that?
I mean, if there's any police that's gonna be assigned at the old Don, or which is now closed.
Yeah, we do have regular patrols in the area, but if you see something suspicious with that store or maybe people breaking in or using it, sound like it's abandoned, so they might be using it
Mhm.
for, what is that, lodging or whatnot, call
Yep.
911, try to give a description of the people and then meet with the officers, let them know who you are, and
Yep.
then we can kind of address it that way.
Okay.
Thank you. Any further questions or concerns for Honolulu Police Department? Hearing none from our board. Lieutenant, is it okay if I ask the members of our
Of
audience?
course, yes.
Members of our audience, do you have any concerns or questions for Honolulu Police Department while we have them here? Hearing none, thank you so much for your report. Look Looking forward to you coming again next month.
Yes,
Thank you. Oh, next meeting. Yeah. Military report from our 599th Transportation Brigade. Welcome, sir.
Aloha, good evening, board members, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lieutenant Colonel John Regnary, and I am the 599th Transportation Brigade Plans and Exercises Officer. It's a pleasure to be here and deliver tonight's military report from U.S. Army Hawaii. Upcoming job fair, U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii will hold its next hiring fair on August 19th at Hila Mano Military Reservation Training Room, beginning at 8:30 and ending at 2 p.m. This is open to the public. Advanced applicants may go to www.himwr.com to learn of openings and how to apply online. Walk-ins are welcomed and should bring 2 references, proof of ID, social security card, and resume or application. Training advisory. U.S. Army Garrison publishes a monthly Army training advisory. Details for training remaining this month are as follows. The Army in Hawaii will be continuing training exercises in the East Ridge area with Ranger, jungle tactics, small arms, blank fire, and aviation training. These daytime exercises will wrap up tomorrow, July 25th, 2025, and will run from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Additionally, on Schofield Barracks, there will be artillery, mortar, and demolitions training from 25 to 31 July, and night live fire, including late evening and early morning hours. If you want to be added to the training advisory email list, email usag.hawaii.comrel@army.mil. Wildland fire. A fire burned approximately 600 acres on Schofield Barracks Range, but was successfully contained within the installation's boundaries. Air operations were conducted by the 25th Aviation Brigade and Air National Guard, Blackhawks, and Chinook helicopters, which dropped more than 660 gallons of water to support firefighting crews on the ground. No homes or facilities were threatened. Cause of the fire is currently under investigation, and officials expressed gratitude for the help from partner agencies in the local community. Training brief on JPMRC, Joint Pacific Multinational Readiness Center. 25th Infantry Division will be conducting its annual Joint Pacific Multinational Readiness Center training exercise this October and November. During this time, you can expect to see increased traffic and hear more noise in the area. We'll be sharing more details as the exercise approaches and are committed to keeping the community informed every step of the way. Pending your questions, that concludes my report. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Do I have any questions for our military representative? Go ahead, Board Member DeGracia.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to make a request. Previously, in years past, for prior boards, the local United States Army Command would often send out public relations information to the boards about things like change of command ceremonies, various historic events and others, but maybe that might have been discontinued. But I'm wondering if it might at all be possible to provide that again for the Waipahū Neighborhood Board, because certainly those are very useful, especially in terms of community relations, being able to have the opportunity to meet new commanders and other community events.
Yeah, we could definitely put a request for that.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none. Thank you so much. Thank you for your report, sir. We'll see you in our next meeting. You do have a question for our military representative? Okay. Yep, right there. Right.
So we understand that the Army is not renewing their lease in Makua Valley, and they'll be returning it back to the state of Hawaii. Right on. But it is how it's being returned that's in question. And we see it in the news all the time, but I just want to make it clear that we are concerned about how that land is going to be returned to us. And we want to make sure that ordinances are cleared and it's going to be returned to near mint condition. So you got about 3 years on that lease now. So you got plenty of time to clean up. So that's what we're hoping for.
Understood. Yeah, definitely express your concern about that and possibly give you some updates on that. I'm sure that the Army is going to clean up anything dangerous or toxic before they leave. But we'll try to get you some more information on that and report it to the board.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay. Going to move on in our agenda. We're moving on to our board business. First item on our board business agenda is the meeting determination, date, time, location, and format. This is in regards to August 2025 to June 2026. Note for our new members, we currently or recently have been meeting on the fourth Thursday of each month at 7 p.m. here at the Filipino Community Center, except for November when the meeting is held on the third Thursday instead because of Thanksgiving. And our meeting is currently in person only. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to keep it the same.
Hey, it's been moved and seconded. Let me just repeat. The motion is to keep our date, time, and location format the same here at the Filipino Community Center every fourth Thursday of each month, starting at 7. And for the month of November, we will move our meeting to the third Thursday instead, and our meeting is in person only. That is the motion. Do I have any further discussion? Go ahead, board member.
So I was thinking, is it possible to make online attendance as well for folks in the community that may not be able to make the location to also hop on, I guess, to address any concerns they have? I'm not sure where to start, but.
So I'm yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Do we have any further discussion or do we need more information in regards to having a virtual component to our meeting? Go ahead, board member Oshiro.
Board has had that virtual component. And we did it for quite a while, but we're having so many problems that we decided to go back to in person. Because, for example, you have reports and you can't hear the speaker. Like, why have the report? Only people that can hear it are people that are maybe watching the mail or the board members that have a hard time with things such as that, other technical issues. So it made it real difficult for the portal. That's why we went to all in person. And it kind of encourages people to attend.
Any further, go ahead, board member Andrade.
I think the other issue is that the neighborhood commission NA and one other person needs to be at the office, yeah, in order to have that connection done. Well, Naomi, that's what happened with Naomi, right? She had to go to the office a couple of times because people couldn't be here, would go over there. That was during the COVID thingy. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'm glad it's brought up. For the members of our public who do not make our meeting and would like to participate, they can actually watch the recording, which I know we do spend money on to have it televised. Unfortunately, it's not live, but it's recapped. So, I mean, that is a way where the public can see the meeting. I do not oppose to having a virtual component, but the current motion on the table is for us to have meeting in person only. Any more discussion? Go ahead, board member DeGracia.
I think it's at least worth considering that. So Chair, if you're amenable, maybe we could vote to defeat the current motion and vote to continue to have things as they are, but attempt to pursue a virtual option.
Okay, go ahead, board member.
I will remind everybody that is currently on the board that we have tried the virtual. It did not give us a larger percentage of the community that participated. It was not a good use of our resources. It was not a good use of our time. We decided as a board that because of the issues, because of the waste of taxpayer funds that goes into this thing, that it was not feasible for this board to do a virtual option. So I would urge everyone to remember the issues that we had for those of us who have been on the board for a while, and we vote on the motion as it stands.
Thank you, board member. Any further discussion? Second, any further discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. So let me just remind the board, our meeting date and time will be the fourth Thursday of each month here at the Filipino Community Center, 7 p.m. start time, except for November when our meeting will be held on a third Thursday instead, and our meeting will be held in person only. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, roll call. Okay.
Member Andrade. Member Bonifacio. Member Jatin Chang. Member Nathan Chang. Member Rachel Cristobal.
Aye.
Member Danny De Gracia.
Yes.
Member Nainoa Molitor. Member Maurice Morita. Member Richard Oshiro. Member Angel Aya. Member John Pagan. Member Kevin Wilson. Darryl Macho, Chair. We have 12 ayes, 1 no, no abstains. Yeah, motion is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to the next item in our board business is the determination of our board recess schedule. Most recently, our board has recessed in the past in August, December, and June. Do I hear a motion? Can I have a motion?
I make a motion to keep it the same.
Thank you. Here a second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. I'm gonna open up for discussion, but let me remind everyone of the motion. The motion is to recess our board in the months of August, December, and June. So that would be June 2026. Okay. Any further discussions? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. All right. Adoption of rules and including the oral testimony. This is the rules that is provided on the top of your agenda, board members, as well as including what the oral testimony will be provided in the time frame. Yeah. So do I have a motion?
I make a motion to keep it the same.
It's been moved and seconded. Do I hear any discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. This item is in regards to the establishment of committees and committee chairs and co-chairs. Currently, we do not have any committees, is my understanding. So we won't be taking any action on this item on the agenda for now. Moving on, since we do have quorum, we would like to have the board members the approval of our minutes from the March 27th, 2025 regular meeting minutes and the May 2025 meeting minutes for the record. Thank you. It's been moved. Any corrections? Any corrections to the meeting minutes as drafted? Hearing none, no vote is needed to approve the minutes. Thank you. Finally, chair's report. So I received a few correspondence that I would like to go over briefly. First is a correspondence from the Department of Transportation Services in regards to the Waikele Road at Pupu Kupa Street. They are informing our board that a marked crosswalk will be installed on Waikele Road and Pupu Kupa Street. And this request was received by Councilmember Talbot's office regarding a matter. And a study was conducted, and it is warranted. A crosswalk has been warranted at that subject location. As a result, they will issue a work order, reference paint and sign work order to the Department of Facility Maintenance to install a marked crosswalk, as well as school crossing pavement markings and school warning signs. We do have a diagram if anyone is interested in taking a look. Okay, thank you. Next item is I receive letters from Cools in Catering by Sinublan. They have events here at the Filipino Community Center happening on the 25th of July, 26th of July, 27th of July, August 10th, August 16th, and August 23 that will be serving alcohol, and they need to notify us of the board, per liquor commission. So just wanting everyone to know about those. And that is my report. Thank you, everyone. Now, going to move into our agenda for residents and community concerns. Board members, do I have any resident or community concerns? I do, but if I do have a couple of constituents, but let me provide the audience first with an opportunity to state any residents or community concerns here tonight. Go ahead, please approach the podium, state your name.
Hi, my name is Tiara Martin. I am here tonight. Actually, I'm here mostly every meeting. I'm sure you guys saw me, but I am here to represent Kealoha West Oahu in our homeless outreach department. So what we do is Monday through Friday, we service a specific district now. Before, it used to be regions, but now we're currently going through a change. So we are calling it districts. Waipahū in general, I just wanted to give you folks a little report on what's going on with the homeless here. 1 second. So we service the Waipahū area every Wednesday now. That is going to be as of next week. Prior to that, we would service Waipahū every Thursday. We do operate 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., but due to our limited funding, I guess, we are not allowed overtime. So technically, we are out on the road until about 1:30. That's just being completely honest. So we only have a limited amount of time to really do as much as we can. But so far, for Waipahū area, in total, we have counted 66 total encampments. Encampments meaning tents, signs of someone living in the area. It could just be a wagon. It could be anywhere actually, but I have also listed the hot spots that we've noticed as well, which is primarily Waipahū Plantation as the #1 spot. I'm sure everyone knows of that. And then the second spot would be the bike path. That's actually extending from the Waipahū Depot Street by the backside on the bridge. If you go down the road by the high school, going all the way out, even towards Pupuole Park, all back there. Waipahū Plantation in general, about 25 encampments. There was more earlier this year, but after a few sweeps that HPD had put together, it did kind of lessen because at first it was looking at like around 40 at the plantation. Currently about 42 people in the plantation, 10 of which we are working with right now. So our job is to find them housing if they want it, find them shelter if they want it. We cannot force anyone to take our help. That's the hardest part. But so far, we also have 8 people of that 42 waiting for our services. And right now we're operating in a team of 2. So it's hard. It's really hard, but we are trying our best. But yeah, overall, once again, total encampments, 66. Total people, rough estimate, is about 221 people that are homeless in Waipahū. That's encampments, including the hidden ones, the hot spots, even along the streets and the highways that you guys see. You can report it to us by texting my work phone. I will have like the proper materials next month for you folks. But phone number 808-728-5034. Text me a photo where the area is. As long as you can get it to me in a good amount of time, preferably before Wednesday, we will try our best to try to find those people and offer them the help. If I notice them and we're working with them, I will let you know. I will respond, but that is my direct phone number. And I wanted to ask if we can be put on the agenda now.
Perfect. I was just going to ask the same thing. If you can stay behind and give us your information.
Okay.
But for the record, just state your name again and your organization.
Sierra Martin. So that's SIERRA. Organization, you can do KWO for short, outreach, but it is Kealoha West Oahu.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Board, do I have any questions for Sierra? Any questions? Board Member Andrade?
Real quick, does the Village Park and Rokunia, is that inclusive because we are still Waipahū?
It is.
It is, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, you're
'Cause
welcome.
I'll
So-
talk to you later.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Oh, go ahead, Board Member Nathan.
Thank you very much for the services that you folks provide. In addition to finding housing and shelter for these people, are you folks also providing other services, any mental health services for them?
Yes, we provide a lot of different services. Anything really that the particular person or household needs for stability in general. Not everyone is ready for housing right away or shelter in general. Mental health wise, we do have a resource that we use for that. So you can text me that information because I don't want to give out the number if I'm not, allowed to yet, but you can let me know if you know for a fact the person is severely mentally ill. We have a connection for that too. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none. Thank you. Oh, sorry. One more question. Go ahead. Board Member.
So just curious, is it somewhat like the Oahu's places outreach,
Similar.
response and management. Is that
Similar. There are many different outreaches all over the island. That's the purpose for us being separated by district. I will bring that next month so that way you guys can see who handles what area on the whole island.
Yeah.
But other than that, some outreaches have limited abilities versus the map I'm going to give you folks. We have all of the same to similar abilities. For example, you need something called a homeless verification letter to get into a shelter. Not all outreaches can provide that, but we can, along with a few other people. But yeah, it's just a different category, I guess.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
for
Thank you,
this.
Sierra. We're gonna, like I said, if you can stay behind and give your information. Yes, and we would like you to report to us monthly. We'll hopefully include you in our agenda. But just as a reminder, we'll be recessed in August. So next meeting, yeah? Thank you. All right, do I hear any other resident or community concerns from our audience? Board members, one last time before I reach out. Okay, thank you. I do have two concerns that was brought to my attention by our constituent out in Waipahū, and I know they are working with Councilmember Okimoto's office. This is in regards to receiving a notice of violation for the planters in their sidewalk. So according to city ordinance, only grass can be in that planter on the sidewalk. But the concern was that the homeowner who lived there for over 30 years had rocks or cement. No, never had grass there. So they received a notice of violation without any further explanation. So they are working with their city, I guess the Department of Permits and Planning to resolve the issue, but they just wanted to bring that up to our concern because apparently it's not a known ordinance that you cannot just take the grass out. Thank you. And then the other concern that was brought to my attention, let's see. Now that my email is out there, so it is a safety concern by one of our citizens in Waipahū, considering asking our legislators for a four-way stop at the intersection of Kahoinui Street and Waipahū Street. I believe our citizen has been working with Representative Chun, as well as Senator Aquino and Rep. Lamasal, but jurisdiction would fall to Councilmember Tauba. So it's been raised as a safety concern I wanted to share with the public or our citizens of Waipahū. So thank you. Moving on, our elected officials. First on our agenda, elected officials is the Mayor Langiardi's representative, Dr. Babcock. Unfortunately, is not here. And it's not that I want to keep on speaking and hugging the mic, okay? But he did email me. So I received a memo for the record from Director Babcock, highlights an announcement for the mayor's newsletter. The city begins an 80-acre master planning effort for the Iwalei Kapalama subcorridor. Another highlight is the mayor signs a trio of bills into law designed to help increase public safety, especially along the leeward coast. The mayor's Office of Culture and Arts helps unveil 3 new art installations as part of the Waipana Storied Places Public Art Project. Entrepreneurs along the Waianae Coast begin the Idea to Biz Incubator Program sponsored by the Office of Economic Revitalization. and long lines and wait times no more. The city brings driver license learner's permit tests online with no appointments needed. Yay. The July 2025 edition of the Mayor's newsletter can be found online at honolulu.gov/mayor/newsletter. And the department wanted to, some issues that needed follow-up. There was some concerns at our last meeting in regards to parking where a resident provided concerns with a neighbor parking multiple service vehicles plus their personal vehicles on Kamalo Street. So according to this follow-up, HPD from June 4th through June 13, the patrol officers from District 3 made checks in the area of Kamalo Street and did not observe any commercial vehicles. However, one vehicle was cited for a parking violation. Officers will monitor the area and take appropriate enforcement action when violations are observed. The area residents are encouraged to call 911 to report violations, as this would result in more expeditious response. That is the report from the mayor's office, mayor's representative. Do I have a representative for Council Member Matt Wire? Kelly?
Aloha Chair and members of the board, Kelly Anaya from Councilmember Matt Wire's office. Just wanted to highlight the budget projects in the district. The Waipahū ambulance facility, $4 million to design, construct, and inspect sustainable improvements to the facility. And the Waipahū refuse facility and convenience center, $1.6 million to plan and design. What you call the Waipahū refuse facility and convenience center. Waipahū wastewater pump station, $902,000 to acquire land, plan, design improvements to the station. And for the Central Oahu Regional Park, $900,000 for the multi-purpose playing field and $800,000 for a tree farm improvements. Darrell Young, also known as the Waikele Community Park, $300,000 to plan and design improvements. And Ho'ai'ai, $200,000 to plan, design, and construct equipment for improvements and repair and replacement of the existing play apparatus. I know, finally. Thank you guys for your patience. And then also wanted to highlight the real property tax relief for homeowners. Bill 50 was introduced, which would increase the current homeowners exemption from 120,000 to 140. And then Bill 49, which would increase the Kapuna homeowner exemption, that's for people 65 and older, from 160,000 to 180,000. Councilmember also did introduce amendments for both bills, to increasing the exemption to 250,000 and then 300,000 for Kapuna. However, these amendments were not agendized for the last budget, but Councilmember is hopeful that they will be considered in the future. And just a couple fun highlights. Councilmember out in the district, we did a site visit with Kunia Village. As you know, they provide housing for small farmers and their family who play an important role in Oahu's ag system. Also, Councilmember was honored to serve as a judge for the Miss Oahu Filipina pageant. And he would like to congratulate Miss Oahu Filipina 2025 India Kave'olani Kauso Ching. Also, I'm sure you already noticed the Kunia Speed Road road speed reduction. That's actually HDOT, but yeah, the speed humps to hopefully kind of curb some of the speeding. And then lastly, Councilmember was honored to participate with Mayor Blangiardi and the community with regards to the 53rd anniversary of Title IX. As you know, Title IX opened the doors to women and laid some of the groundwork for opportunity and equality. Other than that, that's about it. Oh, and I do want to mahalo Sierra and Kealoha West. I know you guys didn't come out in Waipahū, but Sierra and Kealoha West did come out one day. Army Beach, in case you guys don't know, we got a situation out there Likewise, the Waikalani Drive out in Mililani area. We're working with the military to clear up those areas. I mean, those are hot spots for a long time. So thank you, Sierra. We do appreciate that. Other than that, any questions for council member? I can take them back.
Thank you, Kelly. Board members, do you have any questions? Go ahead, board member Andrade.
Question, but thank you for cleaning up, getting that parking right cleaned up. I mean, it is, you got to go down there and go up there and look
I
at it.
will.
It's so clean.
And I'm so sorry. I meant to tell you, I know we were working on the closure signs.
Yes.
I believe I mentioned at one of the last meetings that DTS wanted to kind of get all the park and rides on the island uniformed. But the person that I was working with did retire. So about 2 weeks ago, I did reach out to someone else to see what the status is on that. So I'm
Maybe
waiting
you
to-
can let them know though that last week, not this past week, the week before, for some reason, there now is a group of dog hunting guys, over 30 trucks at the park and ride at 8 o'clock in the evening.
Every day.
And no, this is on a Friday night. And our security actually just went by to see what was going on. They made, I mean, every stall was taken and they made like a circle.
Oh,
He didn't
okay.
bother them. He just, drove by to see what was going on.
How long were they there?
he's- Oh God, they were there for about an hour and a half. Because he went back there just to see,
Okay.
if there was loud noise or anything. He was giving me an update on the radio.
Okay.
But I think maybe this is going to be an every weekend thing. That's where they meet.
Okay.
But it's not all older guys now. They're like in their 20s, 30s. So I'm assuming it's hunting, but it was weird how they did the setup. At first, we thought maybe they're fighting the dogs.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So one of our board members lives across, so now she's aware of it and she's gonna see if it's happening again.
Okay.
If that's what they're planning or, because there was no,
Yeah. And I
things
think,
going on.
as you guys know, I mean, right now, that's why the signage, the closure hours, we're working on getting that. But I think just from hearing that, I don't think there's really anything that we could enforce because Hawaii doesn't have a
Yeah,
loitering law
that's kinda
either. So
spooky, yeah, so that's what I wanted. I wanted you to let them know
No
that
problem.
this was happening.
I will.
No, there was no loud noises or anything. It was just strange that
Yeah,
that was so
especially if you're
many
fighting
with
dogs.
trucks with
Yeah.
dogs.
no problem.
So okay,
Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you. Board members, any questions for Councilmember Matt Wires representative? Hearing none. Thank you, Kelly. Again.
Thank you for having me.
Next, do we have a representative for Councilmember Okimoto's office?
Aloha mai kako. This is Pualani Smith Kauhane from Val Okimoto's office. We want to just congratulate all the new members for the Waipahū board and also the new elected executive board for your neighborhood board. In regards to the variance of what happened, I'm actually working with I personally am working with the constituents about the gravel in front of the lawns. So what it is basically, it's been around that particular constituent that had the gravel in front of their home. They've lived there for 30 years and the Department of Planning and Permitting is now randomly going to all different neighborhoods and checking to see if there's any kind of notice of violations. So we had them work with their association because it's Waipahū Gentry, that's the area. Unfortunately, there's about 20 other residents that has gravel in front of their lawn. So in order for them to, they could do one or two things. They could fix it by just adding grass to it, like actually going to like Home Depot and getting a layer of grass, and that would actually suffice the notice of violation. The other thing is that there is a form that they can fill out to get a permit for. The only thing is that that particular permit will cost $200. So it's a lot for that particular situation. So I let her know that they should work with their associations because it's in Waipahū Gentry, to their association know that maybe they could request a blanket permitting for all of the people inside Waipahū Gentry. So we're working on that with her at the moment. But I definitely did recommend for her to talk to the neighborhood board and let everybody be aware so it can be announced for the community. And then with that, we wanted to let everyone know that we sent out the District 8, the mailers in June. And if you haven't received it yet, there's a copy of it on our newsletter for our June and July newsletter. And then for the new 2026 fiscal year, Councilmember Okimoto is Chair of Budget and Vice Chair of Infrastructure and Transportation and Technology. So if anybody in the community has any questions or concerns for council in those departments, by all means, please let us know. Please give us a call. Other than that, I can take any questions back to our offices.
Thank you. Thank you for elaborating on the community concern from our resident.
Sure.
Any questions from our board members to Councilmember Val Okimoto's representative? Any questions, board members on my left? None. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Congratulations to Chair of the Budget Committee, Okimoto. Let's see, Councilmember Augie Talbot's office.
Oh, is this usually this low? Okay. Aloha, Chair, board members. Aaron Michael Ho here from the office of Councilmember Augie Talbot. I did distribute his and when I first got here. There's extra copies on the back table if you so desire. I'm just going to highlight a couple of things in the interest of time. The first is that there was a recent reorganization in the council, and there are new committee assignments. So if you look at page 5 of the bulletin, you'll find a list of the new committees along with their chairs and vice chairs. For the actual schedule of the committees, if it's the easiest thing for you to do is look at our website at honolulucitycouncil.org. For that, let's see. I also wanted to mention that the old incinerator down Waipahū Street should the demolition should be currently underway. It should have happened, well, it should have started 2 weeks ago, actually. So if you are planning on visiting like the convenience center or like the Servco down Waipahū Street, just expect delays, plan accordingly. Sorry about it. It just has to happen in order to make our community better. Because after the demolition is complete and the site is cleared, the plans are to install a larger and more effective convenience center back there. So in the long run, this should help us. But right now, it's just going to be a hassle because we have to deal with the increased traffic. In previous meetings, I did talk about the gravel lot next to Waipahū Elementary School. We've been dealing with the homeless situation and also like the use of the large parcel that Plantation Village partially occupies and whatnot. Well, I just wanted to, I guess, announce that if you've driven by there lately, you would have noticed that large cement barricades have been placed at the mouth of that gravel lot, and there are now chains in place to hopefully curb the illegal dumping that has been taking place in there, and hopefully curb some of the homeless encampments from moving in their stuff back into the places we cleared previously. And then the last thing, on page 3 of our bulletin, we did want to highlight Vision Zero. It's a program from within the Complete Streets division, and it's trying to crowdsource traffic safety. So like what they are advocating for is for the community to take pledges as part of this program, and as in return for taking this pledge to drive safely, to be safe on the streets. They will give you a yard sign if you desire, or they'll give you bumper stickers that they've designed. So yeah, we just kind of wanted to put that out there. We've made social media videos that you'll be seeing, and yeah, so we're just trying to get the word out about that. And that's about all I have for the moment. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Aaron. Do you have any questions for our Councilmember Augie Talbot's representative? Board member, go ahead.
Okay, that building you was talking about, it was gonna be doing demolition. How's it gonna be used with the excavators?
Okay, can you repeat that? Sorry.
That building you was talking about,
Yes.
what would it be used to knock it down, like the excavators?
That I'm not sure. They
Actually, board member, that he was referring to the service center or the convenience center, you know, down on Waipio, excuse me, what is that road?
the Waipahū Depot Street.
Waipahū Depot Street, where you know, it's the municipal dump. I don't think there's really any buildings there.
There's a large incinerator that's back there.
Got it, got it. Yeah, yeah,
Behind
yeah.
the police academy.
Yes.
I don't know what kind of equipment they're going to be using to take down the thing. I just know that the project has been was slated to start in July.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions go ahead, board member DeGracia.
Thank you so much for bringing up the Vision Zero campaign. I also wanted to mention that in parallel to that, if you could also check out, there is the State of Hawaii Vision Zero campaign, and the website for that is Vision Zero, all one word, .Hawaii, spelled out HAWAII.gov.
But we'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you, board member. Any other questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hi, so you were mentioning that construction is going to begin soon on the project. I do take my kids to school, and I know it's going to start around school time. Is this going to be operating during school hours and things like that? So traffic is probably going to be, I'm probably going to have to plan ahead.
There on Depot Street, like you drive on Depot Street to take your kids to school? Right. Oh, sure. So as far as I'm aware, the construction is just going to be during normal business hours. I don't know when it's going to start or end, but that's what they told us was normal operating hours. But the incinerator is far enough back on Depot Street that it shouldn't pose too much of an obstacle far out, like as far as Farrington. It's just that we wanted you to be aware that it's happening. So just in case, stuff happens, that's what you're seeing. We didn't want you to be blindsided.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, board member. I'm more concerned of the road because that road there is really, no, it's the potholes you can live inside. So yeah.
Well, hopefully that will motivate them to fix that too.
I hope so too. That would be my concern is the Waipahū Depot Road, that side,
I'll take that.
Makai side, to fix all the potholes. Thank you, Aaron.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next on our agenda, we have Governor Josh Green's representative, Giovanni.
Aloha, everyone. I'm Giovanni Ramos for Governor Green. I'll share a few highlights from this month's governor's newsletter and just some recent updates. So this past legislative session, governor signed 313 bills into law, with 13 bill signing ceremonies held across the state to mark major milestones. So some of highlights of the bill signings, the establishment of a state fire marshal, which is pretty huge. The state has its first fire marshal in 46 years. You can read about her in the governor's newsletter. Her name is Dory Booth. On a professional level, I got to work with her for about a month because her office was originally placed in my department, but now she has moved over to DLE. And although she's not from here, I can attest that she has a lot of experience. So you can read about her in the newsletter. Some other highlights, the enactment of Hawaii's innovative green fee is the first of its kind in the nation, aimed at protecting natural resources and supporting environmental sustainability. And 3.3 million got appropriated to the Department of Education to subsidize free school meals. Some announcements, the state is encouraging everyone, families especially, to apply for a Sunbox by August 3. The program provides $177 per eligible child for summer food assistance. So far, over 80,000 children have already received benefits, but many more may qualify. Families on free or reduced lunch, SNAP, or TA and FR automatically enrolled. So others can apply at sunbox.dhs.hawaii.gov or call 1-888-975-7328. And that more information is found on the back of Governor's newsletter. And some other announcements. I distributed this flyer about the 2025 Workforce Development Heroes. So in honor of Workforce Development Month this September, the Department of Labor has opened nominations for the 2025 Workforce Development Heroes Awards. So it's launched by the Workforce Development Council. This initiative recognizes individuals across the state who go above and beyond to help others find jobs, build skills, and strengthen Hawaii's workforce. Eligibility nominees must work in the workforce development sector and have served for at least 6 months since February 2024. So there's a bunch of award categories. There's you can nominate anyone from each island, and there's also a Lifetime Achievement Award and a Legislator of the Year Award. So the deadline for that is August 22, 2025. You can scan the QR code on the flyer. I also left some on the front table that will lead you to the nomination form. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you.
Do I have any questions for Governor Josh Green's representative? Board members to my left? Board members to my right? Hearing none. Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along, I have Senator, do I have a representative for Senator Kidani's office? Hearing none, I do see that she did provide a report. So thank you. Board members, you should have the report from Senator Kidani's office, as well as from Senator Aquino's office. Thank you. Let's see, Representative Chun.
Good evening, Chair, board members. Congratulations to all the newly elected board members. Thank you for serving. As a former member, I know how important your voice is to our community, so thank you for serving. I'd just like to start with some updates. So there were some small changes in the House of Representatives since our last meeting. I actually have a new role now in the House. So I am now the chair of the Committee on Agriculture and Food Systems. Thank you. So basically my committee's purview is everything agriculture, so farming and ranching. I'll also be responsible for the Farm to School program, the Farm to Families program, and also now biosecurity. So if you have any questions or issues, trying really hard to get up to speed on all the issues that we're facing and trying to get our state to be more food secure. I'd also like to just touch on some updates from the last meeting. So one of the things I mentioned before was the funding that the legislature provided for the repaving of Kamehameha Highway from Waipahū Street to Ka'uka Boulevard. Department of Transportation has a plan. So as you know, there's a lot of construction going on with the H1 freeways. And so right now, the plan is to get the request for proposals out in February of next year. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but because of all the construction going on right now, it's going to get pushed back just a little bit so they can work on the RFP to make sure that they get the right type of bids, and also to include some of the other things they're looking at, which is also rehabilitating the barrier wall, which hasn't been repainted in a while and actually just got tagged this past weekend. So With regards to traffic, one of the things that we're very keenly aware of is the funding that was approved for Waipio Point Access Road. And the main issue there is just because with Waipahū High School right there, there's going to be some disruptions. The plan was to start construction this year. Right now, I don't have a timeline. I know it's been pushed back, but I know that's a concern for residents in the area and also the school. So once we get a more firm timeline on when construction is supposed to start, we'll definitely update the board. And since Chair brought up the Kahuanui and Waipahū Street intersection, I just want to follow up on that. So the Department of Transportation Services determined that a four-way stop is not warranted there. The three reasons they gave were, the first one is that in order to warrant a four-way stop, there needs to be a same amount of traffic going on in both directions on both streets. And they determined after a traffic study that that was not the case, and there was more traffic or more vehicle traffic on going one way than the other. The second reason is that, and this is what they said, but going back and looking at crash data, there wasn't enough crash data to support putting it there, which means, I know what it means, right? It's like no one got hurt, so we're not going to do it. And then the third one is something that was new to me, and it was kind of interesting, but it has to do with permitting. And so when you put up a four-way stop sign, there are required sight lines from each corner. And so properties that are there who maybe have existing walls or fences may not be able to construct them above a certain height. And there may be restrictions on what you can do with your property just because of the four-way stop sign and the requirements under, I guess, the code to have certain sight lines up in all four directions. So anyone coming to a stop can be able to see oncoming traffic. So those are the reasons they gave. You know, I'm not too sure what the next steps are. So we're going to try to see if there's something, maybe not necessarily a four-way stop, but just something that can be done just to make that intersection safer. Because I know for a fact that real world driving and the real world situations are a lot different from just, just what the code says. Because I've been to many intersections where, the sight lines don't exist, even if they push back street parking and they do all these other things. So really, it's all about just trying to make our communities more safe. So we'll try to see what we can do. But as of now, yeah, that's the responses. They are not going to consider putting one in. And with that, I will conclude. You have my report. I also circulated Representative Lamasal's report. She couldn't be here tonight. So I close and just say I'm open to any questions for either myself or Representative Lamasal. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Chun. Do you have any questions from our members of the board? Go ahead, Vice Chair.
Kamehameha project.
Yes.
Is it just going to be repaving, or are they still looking at adding lanes? Because I know when Core Ridge was being discussed, there was talk about Kamehameha Highway being widened, or extra lanes being put in to handle the traffic, but that never came to be.
Currently, it's just repaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second question,
Okay.
or just a follow up on what you said about there's not enough crashes. I would go back to them and remind them that this board, when we had the first e-bike death of a child, brought that as a concern, and nothing was done until more children got hurt or died. So using that not enough people have gotten hurt, or no one has died, or not enough people have died, I don't think is a valid reason for us not doing something to protect the public. Our roles in government, our roles of this board or anything, is to help our community be better and to make sure our people are safe. And so I'm a little disappointed that a state agency or department of any branch of government would come back and say, well, we can't do anything because not enough people have died or gotten hurt. So I would just go back and I don't expect you to answer for that, but just let them know that we are very disappointed in that type of reasoning. It doesn't make sense to me. We can spend money on a Shaka statue, but we can't put a four-way stop in. That doesn't make sense.
Thank you, Board Member. Any questions for, go ahead, Board Member DeGracia.
Thank you, Representative. I wonder if you might be able to assist us. There's been some discussion in various news outlets and also rumors around Honolulu that potentially the Hawaii State Legislature, while the state capitol building is under reconstruction and renovation, may be relocated, and that perhaps the Department of Accounting and General Services is looking for an alternate site. Would you happen to know anything about the progress of that?
I know somewhat of what's going on. So yes, as you know, the Capitol is very, very old. We recently undertook a project to resurface the pools, the reflecting pools, just because of the water damage that it was causing. The building, if you've been to the building, it really needs an overhaul. The elevators may work every other day. Sorry, there's technicians there almost every day. And the difficult part is similar to Honolulu Hale, when there was discussions about renovating Honolulu Hale, it's very hard to do it in pieces. And it just makes more financial sense to just do it all at one time instead of doing it, piecemeal, doing something here and then something there. I know the House Finance Committee and also the Committee on Ways and Means are taking a tour with the Department of Accounting and General Services that is responsible for the Capitol. They're doing that this interim to just take a look at the infrastructure of the Capitol and all of the things happening underground. And as far as relocating, I don't know if we've gotten that far, but I know they're just in initial discussions of trying to see how big of a project it would be to renovate the Capitol, either all at once or in increments, and what those costs would be.
Thank you. Any further questions for Representative Chun? Board members? Hearing none. Thank you so much, Representative. Appreciate you being here this evening, as well as circulating Representative Lamasel's report. Do I have a representative from District 37, Representative La Chica's office? Okay.
Aloha, Chair, members of the board. My name is Stella Demi, and I'm a summer intern for Rep La Chica. I have her new newsletters here. My apologies if you would like to pass them down if you would like. I'm a public health major. I'm a junior at UH Manoa, and I'm also a member of the UH volleyball team as well. And I'm here to give the July updates. So first, we're excited to announce that on June 25th, 2025, Governor Green signed Rep La Chica's bill HB 1231, Safe Routes to School, or SRT, now Act 212, into law. This law establishes the largest dedicated funding source for the Safe Routes to School program, which funds the development of safe infrastructure such as crosswalks, bike lanes, and rapid flashing beacons within a 1-mile radius of public schools that would help students walk, bike, and roll to school safely. Current funding for the Safe Routes to School is at $500,000 each year, and Act 212 is estimated to generate about $5 million each year. Additionally, our office has been meeting actively with Director Sniffen to discuss potential upcoming SRTS projects, specifically for our district. Secondly, we'd like to invite everyone to an upcoming community engagement meeting hosted by the Neighborhood Commission Office along with the Mililani, Wahiawa, and North Shore neighborhood boards next week, Wednesday, July 30th, from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. at Leilehua High School and virtually. There, they will be discussing a large-scale development proposal, the Kamai Gondola project, which seeks to build a sky gondola spanning a portion of Mount Ka'ala. The proposed route between Kaukonahua Road and Mount Ka'ala has sparked serious concern due to the lack of community consultation and the absence of an environmental assessment. Your voice matters, and we look forward to joining us then. Additionally, we want to remind everyone that the preschool open doors is now accepting applications for the 2025 to 2026 school year. This program helps eligible families with 3 and 4-year-olds afford preschool and give them access to valuable education. With the recent passing of HB 692 or Act 203, federal poverty guidelines have been expanded and the program will be open for 2-year-olds beginning January 2026. Don't wait, act now. And the deadline to apply is January 31st, 2026 at 4:30 p.m. And if you're interested or have more questions, please call Patch Hawaii at 808-791-2130 or visit www.patchhawaii.org. Lastly, we encourage the community to continue to reach out to our office if they have any issues or need assistance within the community. We're currently not in session, however, now is the perfect time to come to us with your legislative ideas or community concerns. Once session starts in mid-January, we only have a small window of around 2 weeks to submit anything. If we miss that window, we'll have to wait. And that is all. And I can take note of any questions to bring back to the office. Thank you.
Thank you, Stella. Do you have any questions for Representative La Chica's representative from board members from my left? Board members from my right? Outside hitter, volleyball.
Yes.
Wow, go Bows. Hey. Well, I might date myself, but I was a big fan of your coach, Robin Amo. She's still coach, right? I never watched volleyball in a while, but I love that. So
Thank you so
okay,
much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Do I have any representative from Representative Perrick's office? Okay, what about Congressman Case's office? I don't see Nestor. How about Congresswoman Tokuta's office? Okay, seeing none, gonna move on to our reports. Board of Water Supply, any representative? Nikki's not here. Okay. I'm gonna turn it over to AMPO, our Representative DeGracia.
Thank you, Chair. Just wanted to give you a brief update. As we start this new board session, I would like to request to be relieved from the OMPO assignment simply because the majority of the hearings are scheduled at a time that is very difficult for me to attend. And being that I am a state employee, I have to take vacation leave to attend that. In addition to that, my organization that I work for is also represented on OMPO, so it represents a conflict for me to be on that. So I would like to request that the board appoint someone in place of me. As a heads up, the OMPO Citizens Advisory Committee Executive Director sent a notification to me that indicated because I had missed 6 meetings that they wanted to remove my seat from the committee. But I would like to respectfully request that the board appoint someone in my place. This being said, I do have an internal concern that I feel that the structure of the Citizens Advisory Committee is not amenable to allowing the public, and more to the point, the boards that are on that to discuss their concerns. Simply put, it's too short of a meeting. There's too many people that have to attend that. And in the few times that I have attended, whenever other boards raise concerns, they're basically cut off, told to hurry up or to submit the comments on the side by email. And I think that that essentially frustrates the purpose of what a Citizens Advisory Committee is about in the first place. This might just be my observation. I know that this has been around for much longer than I've been there, but it basically feels like an event where PowerPoint presentations are made about things that programmatic planners and engineers have already made up their mind about. And when citizens and the boards bring up their concerns, it's essentially lightly esteemed and dismissed. But that's just my personal thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member DeGracia, and I understand your concern. Is this something we should be putting on our agenda, or do I have anyone interested in filling the Citizen Advisory Committee seat?
And Chair, if I may make a recommendation, you should appoint both a representative and an alternate.
Got it. Got it. Sounds like we do need further discussion and probably put it on our, do we have to decide this evening, Board Member DeGresha?
I believe based on the sunshine law, you'll need to place that on the agenda for
Okay.
the next.
Thank you. So we will place that on our agenda for further discussion in our next meeting. But thank you for your participation and your willingness to serve on that board as well. Yeah. Do I have any reports for other board members with their attendance at other meetings? Board members? Hearing none, I do have a couple announcements. So just as we voted this evening, our next meeting, our next regular meeting will be in September. Okay, for our audience watching on Olelo, because our board will recess in August. So welcome, but you have a recess in August, board members, okay? I do have an announcement. Someone from the, who's this? I believe this is the Aloha State Bicycle Racing Association. Is making us aware, or our constituents aware, that on Sunday, August 24th, there is a Dick Evans Memorial Road Race. It's a 112-mile bicycle race around the island of Oahu. So they wanted to share with our board that there will be a rolling HPD enclosure from Hawaii Kai to Kunia for the race. So just be aware, and please everyone drive safely. They'll have a lot of bikes on the road on that day. So that was just an announcement. And finally, rebroadcast of our meeting this evening will be on Olelo Channel 49 every second Saturday at 9 p.m. and every fourth Sunday at 9 a.m. for those who want to view us on the TV for the rebroadcast. So thank you, everyone. I'll call this meeting adjourned.